What's up, guys? It's the Extreme Nerd Table with I got Anthony with me, and I got Rob Worst with me, or not near Mitt, like every once in a while he likes to be called. So, what you guys been up to this week?
Hey, you can call me whatever you want except for late for dinner or that comic's mine, because no, bitch, that comic's mine.
So, what you guys been up to? Mm-hmm.
You go first, Rob.
I have no life. You're looking at it right now. And court
Hmm.
reporting. That's it. And no one wants to hear that, and nor can I even talk about it.
Hmm. Did you pick up anything cool this week?
So I hit this place called Retro City Collectibles. I've talked about it on
Ooh.
numerous occasions. I went there for one specific book in mind. I didn't get
Really?
it, but I'll show you the books that I got from that same shop that were
That's
around
cool.
it that I knew it had that one issue and somebody else got it. That was the first
Ah.
appearance of Valzad. So here
Ah.
we go. This is everything that I picked up at that shop. These are not in 9.8s at all. These
I gotta check
are
my box.
mostly.
I think I had the Velza in the first appearance. I gotta check them. I gotta check my
Ooh,
boxes.
that's something I want. I think it's
Yeah.
number 17 or 19.
Oh,
I'd know the cover to see it, mostly
yeah.
because I kept looking for it. So I
Earth
picked
2,
up
I'm assuming, right? It's a Earth 2 book, right?
yes, Earth 2 book, and it's not Valzad in costume. That's 24, last page,
Right.
and then 25, which I'll show you in a second.
Okay,
All right.
okay. Gotcha.
So I picked up Black Knight 1. I never really got much into Black Knight until, and not because of the announcement of a stupid movie, but that King in Black story. It was really good. So I picked
Hmm.
that up. There were a couple, there was issue 3, but it was really ripped, so I'm not going to pick that up, even for a
No.
buck. I picked up 1. I picked
Hmm.
up 2.
Hmm.
They're only like 7s, but I know some people that could use them.
Hmm.
Nice.
This I picked up. Well, Blaine put this in the pile that I'm giving away.
Hmm.
This is the first appearance of Monica St. Croix, the actual first appearance. I just saw a big
Hmm.
run of Generation X in the store and went, let me see if they have an issue number 40. Holy shit, they did. This was one of the missing copies of Infinity that I was looking for. Hey,
Always good
little
to find it.
Connected Comics. This was another missing issue.
Always nice to find them.
Riri.
Yeah.
And this is kind of funny because I just recently picked up a full run of this, not realizing that I didn't get on board with the Al Ewing run. So here was a second copy that I now have of Mighty Avengers. Kind of helpful.
Nice.
First words of, well, she changed the title of her name, but still it's Spectrum. This was a missing copy of Ms. Marvel. Now I'm only
Hmm.
missing issue 3 from this run.
Oh boy.
And then I'm done. I have every Ms. Marvel, which is
Oh,
unfortunate
okay.
because I think they just released the final issue of Samuel I'm going to screw up the name. The most recent one is over.
Ah,
This was in there. $1.
Oh, nice.
nice.
I don't collect Star Wars, so I'm probably giving that to Lady Fantastic. Thunderbolts, this is one of the missing issues. I'm only missing, I think, 3 more. This was in there. I have most of the issues around it. I have most of the ones that are spiking now. This isn't
Yeah.
spiking, but now it filled in a hole.
Hmm.
They didn't have the white vision there. I would have picked that up too.
Yeah, but you would have picked it up for way more than there was going
Not at this place.
previously. Oh.
This was an antique store.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
This
okay.
was $1 too.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
This is the combo pack. It's basically newsstand, but not.
Mm.
I don't know what qualifies as a combo pack or where the hell it was sold. All right, so here we go. Earth 2. Issue 2, second print. This is when
Right.
Alan Scott says he's gay. Which
Oh,
they
yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah. I have that whole run. I have that. Yeah, I think I have the Belzad
nice.
first appearance too. So I think I have that whole run. I have to
I
look. I have to
had-
look through the boxes.
I'm about to show
a
you all of the ones that I have.
Okay.
I was at a flea
This
market
is-
last week with a friend of mine who was actually there, and he picked up that first issue.
Oh,
Beat me
nice.
to it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all I have of Earth 2. I once had the first couple issues, and I think that wound up in a box for J Blitz. Damn
Yeah.
it. So here's the second print.
Yeah, I enjoyed the story. That's the whole reason I picked it up.
Yeah, now I'm going to have to try and find it.
No, if I have it, if you're gonna send me those, I'll send you that one. I'll send you that at least that half if I find it.
I will. Here, I have your books right here. I just need to get to set. I still have to bag and board a bunch of stuff back here for
Yeah, you're fine.
pretty much the rest of my team. I'm waiting for next Monday,
Mhm.
800 bags and boards and another
Jeez.
800 boards come in so I can finally finish it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm out of bags and boards.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
So here's issue 25.
Yeah,
This
I have
is
that.
not
I have that
the
whole run.
issue.
Yeah, but I know the one you're talking about. But I have that whole run. So yeah.
Out of the
Captain-
two covers you could have picked up, somebody picked this one up and went, "Oh, damn, I screwed up," and threw it in their dollar bin. But I have it.
Captain Comics.
Yeah.
And this newsstand,
Nice.
I have the whole run, but it's newsstand Mike Turner. So yes, please.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
I'm almost
I love-
done with my. Go ahead.
I love that storyline.
Oh yeah.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, the
introduced
Mike
me
Turner
to-
art helps too.
Legion of superheroes are kind of like imprisoned and don't know who they are and where they are, and it's leading into
Yeah,
the
they're
Red
harkening
Tornado.
back to an older storyline where they wound up stealing all their identities from the
Yeah.
supervillains, and they knew
Yeah.
who all the superheroes were. But this is how I initially found out who Mr. Terrific was. I was not aware of him up until Brad Meltzer wrote him.
Yeah.
Here's issue 23 of Mr. Miracle. There's a huge rip down there, but that's okay.
Wow.
I have almost every issue. I have every issue of the Kirby run, but I was missing a couple of them towards the end. So now I'm missing, I think, a 24 and 19. All right. Here is an Adam Hughes Wonder Woman.
Nice. Very
Nice.
nice.
This is coming up to the last two that I picked up. Vigilante, the final issue,
Nice.
where Adrian Chase to himself. And this is the final issue of Coyote that I was looking for because I had 1 through 16. I was missing 14. I had all the other issues from the same shop. Couldn't have found 14. I found 14 today. That's everything.
Excellent.
Otherwise, your stuff is around here somewhere. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Razor, first appearance is She, signed
Yep.
by William Hartsoe.
Nice.
She, number 1.
Nice.
She. I don't know what this is. I can't remember. It's one of the issues. Maybe it's issue
Yeah.
2.
You're fine.
There's also issue 2.
Yeah.
Here's number 3.
Nice.
Nice.
And these are all the ones that came out day of release.
Nice. Nice.
No one else has had these.
Nice.
And the last one that I have, this.
Nice. And it's signed by Tucci.
Oh, do you need a Fear Itself number 7? Well, no, I'm just trying to make sure it's going to round out a package.
Yeah. Well, I mean, throw it in if you want.
There we go. Fear Itself number 7.
Yeah. Gives me something to read. Yeah, all of them, but the Razor one I'm not into reading because it's signed, so I'll probably leave it in the bag and board.
Yeah, I think all I've done with them since I've had them is just transition them from new bag to new board. That's about it.
Yeah.
I think I might have tried to read one of the first issues a long time ago, and that's been traded hands many times.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, I don't think I've ever touched.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. All I want to do is collect them anyways. So, all the strong female types characters anyways.
Yeah, Razor.
So,
I got at a show. I think it was MegaCon 1994.
That's cool.
I am fucking old as shit.
I mean, we're all there, man. My two what was it? Nephews are freaking almost 18. So
I was buying those razors when they were coming out too, so I know
Yeah.
the feeling, buddy. I was as Rob, I told you, I was talking about it around the water cooler when they were coming out.
Yeah, I picked these up today.
Water cooler.
People don't know what those water coolers are anymore. Purgatory.
Who did the artwork on that? Is that Al Rio?
Hey, hold on. I'll find out.
There we go.
Oh,
I know Jim Ballant did the miniseries.
Yeah, he did. This isn't the miniseries. It's a two issue story. But let's see. Let's see. Written? No. Cover is done by somebody I don't recognize. Story edit is by Brian Polito. Cover is by Justice. I think. Is it? It's JUSTINIANO. That's the cover artist.
Justinio, I think, or he's the guy that did. He later did the Chastity.
Oh, okay.
He did the Chastity series when it was in Chaos.
And then
Great
Jim.
artist.
It's Jim something, but it's not Valiant. It's Jim. I know how Jim spells his last name, but it's not Valiant. Oh no, this is the letterer. Never mind. I'm reading the wrong. Yeah. Colorist, inker. Actually, doesn't even.
Justiano was the artist for Chaos, so he probably did it.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It doesn't.
Just curious.
No, yeah.
I'm a fan. I liked the first. The Chastity series on Chaos was really well drawn.
Yeah.
And I guess she's still a character in Dynamite Comics, correct?
Yeah. Dynamite actually. Well, Dynamite owns them. Owns Chaos.
Oh.
So now.
I bought that catalog a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then issue 2 of that one.
It's nice.
And then I got these Dark Childs. I've been getting into a little more the Dark Child stuff.
Yep. Randy Green. I have a comic shop. My local comic shop, Jeff, has all the original action figures for Dark Child.
Ooh.
So if you'd like me to pick some up for you, I think they have them for like $5 in the box.
All right.
And
I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
All right.
Yep.
Well, maybe I'll just buy one and send it to you.
Yeah, birthday's coming up anyway. Birthday's coming up in April, so the first
what
month of April.
What are you turning? 30, 24? What are you?
35 actually.
35?
You're a kid.
Yeah, I know.
You're a kid.
Compared to you.
I just turned 50, dude. You're a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rob's at least pushing 40.
Pushing. I'm a few years in.
So, what's everybody's thoughts of WandaVision?
You asked me what I got this week.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I got. Well, let me tell you. When I was on the last show, I showed you, right? I picked up like 50 copies of Razor,
Yeah.
and I got like 100 copies of comics at a flea market, all $1, and the guy's a friend of mine, so I got literally 65 comics for $30, and I spent my birthday money, but I got all old Razors and
That's cool.
I think I showed you already, so I'm not going to bore you again. But my wife got me a cool thing. It was the X-Men animated series, the anime series.
Nice.
So it's all like anime style, and to be honest with you, I have a Wolverine series like this, and also an Iron Man series, and the X-Men are reunited following the death of a teammate and are summoned by Charles Xavier to Japan. So it's the X-Men in Japan. It's pretty much Grant Morrison's X-Men cast in Japan with really cool anime graphics. And Emma Frost is really cool and sexy in this. In her,
well, not surprised because she's a blonde, so Asians like blondes.
Does it come with a comic book?
No, it doesn't. But you see, I got it for $1 at the flea market. It just came with this Attack of the Show advertisement. But truth be told, it did not come with a comic book, but it is cool. And because I didn't get to my LCS this week, this is really all I have to show. And again, I have 80 copies of Razor and a bunch of Bad Girl stuff that I just don't want to bore Jeff with again because he saw it already. But I did get a cool comic called Valkyrie, which by Eclipse Comics, which is nice Paul Galassi covers, or at least this cover. And again, Valkyrie was actually a character from the series by Eclipse called, I think it was Airboy. And I know Dave Stevens had done a couple of covers of Airboy or Skyboy, whatever it was called, or someone of that ilk. I think he had done some Skyboy covers. Anyway, Valkyrie was a nice, like, 1940s female Indiana Jones stuff. And I always like Paul Galassi covers. So I actually had this in my collection, and I picked up a few copies of it, and I thought it was cool. And I'm too lazy to bag and board anything, so it's still in the flea market.
Bag and board.
And of
I
course,
understand.
I love when flea markets, when they put like multiple copies inside a bag and board, yet they only charge you for one. That's the score.
Yeah. Or they forget they stuck another copy in there.
I did get Berserker in my pull list, but I never picked it up.
I did. I picked up Berserker. What'd you think? What'd you think, Rob? Did you end up reading it?
It wasn't bad. I did like it the first time I read it when it was called Powers.
It's
did not know that. Did not know that that's what it was called originally.
No, by that I mean that Brian Michael Bendis did a series called Powers.
Oh yeah.
Detective Walker, and then like midway through the second series or something, they all of a sudden say, "Hey, by the way, this guy is also 80,000 years old," and you kind of forget things after being so old.
It's also like Old Guard too, isn't it? The Image.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that too. Yeah. I'm wondering if Keanu actually read Old Guard and read all that other stuff and said, "Hey, I think I make a better Highlander character."
With it. I just want to see where they're going to go. They did have one scene where a guy's jaw gets punched off. I don't want. I want to see I want to see issue 2.
Yeah, me too.
It looks like the guy drawing it. I'm not familiar with, but it looks a lot like Romita Jr. It's got
but they a lot of people, a lot of shops ordered just because they want that damn 1,000 one in 1,000 copy of signed with Keanu. Yeah, signed with Keanu's signature on it. I'm like, dude, that's gonna. What you been up to?
Hey.
Just working. What else have you been up to, man? No, nothing
Looks
else.
like he's in a warehouse.
It looks like he organized a little bit back there. Because those boxes
Oh,
weren't there
yeah. You
previously.
know what? I did. I was pretty productive a couple days this week. So I'll show you a little bit right here. I got rid of my 6-foot table, and I invested in 2 4-foot tables. And the great thing about the 4-foot tables is they actually go higher. So you might be able to see it. I'll move the camera down a little bit. See if I know the poster is kind of blocking the way, but I'm able to fit let's see here, 6, 6, and 2, 14 short boxes underneath the table. There goes my posters. But yeah, just making space, trying to be productive.
Yep, and then you guys all shared about the vampy, the dynamite vampy thing. I actually saw it on Sarah Frazetta's page before I saw it on you guys' page. So it popped
That's
up
funny.
on my.
Because you're stalking her. I'm just kidding.
No. It
I'm
just,
kidding.
It just
I'm kidding.
yeah, it popped up on the feed. Yeah, so I'm excited for it. So, but I'm glad I got the vampy one before this thing hit. Before it said,
Yeah.
Already
I can only imagine how upset you would have been. Like the movie comes out, all the books go up in price, and you're like, oh man, now it's going to be more difficult for me to or difficult for you to complete that Vampirella collection.
Yeah, but right now I'm only 48 books away, so I'm not that far away from completing it. And then the big thing is I still have to get issue 49 because that's one of her major villains that make her first appearance in it of that magazine of that Warren run. So that
should be your next book that you get, man, because if they use that villain in the movie, it's gonna shoot up.
And and that one, but I have a funny feeling they're either gonna use I don't think they're gonna use the Warren run at all. I have a feeling because they're gonna try to use the Dynamite Volume 1 run to explain the movie. So never know, but they might use a little bit of the Warren stuff. You never know. So.
Who's the writer? Never know. And what have they been talking about on social media?
Nothing. Because I don't even know the writer yet. They said they're thinking of for it to come to big screen. They haven't said a writer yet. They haven't either no actress yet. Nothing. So we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they go through with it because every time they announce a movie especially for independent films, independent comic book films, sometimes it falls through and the movie doesn't even get made, so, but hopefully it gets made, man. It's long overdue. I mean, even with a $30 million budget, you can take a $30 million budget and make a solid Vampirella film, and it can do well in the box office for streaming.
Yeah.
Do you think Vampirella will come out before Spawn?
Spawn's gonna come up before Vampy will.
I think Confederacy of Dunces will come out as an actual film before either Spawn or Vampirella.
You know how I know the Spawn film's not coming out? Because Todd McFarlane announced expanding on the comic book universe.
Yeah,
the guy's talking about doing more Spawn comics.
I need to widen my IP. When I hear that, I go, oh no.
Spawn. Well, Todd McFarlane's a workaholic, and if he is investing a heavy majority of his time in one project, that means whatever project he was working on before is dead in the water. And that's what I think. I think he's probably tired of trying to get the movie made, and he's going to take a break from it, and then he's going to wait maybe a few more years again. I think also because of the pandemic and it pushed everything. His window of opportunity to get that film made really got pushed back. So now he's just like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to work.
Jamie Foxx will be dead by the time they make the movie.
Hey, then he looked like Al Simmons.
Yeah. I mean, Jamie Foxx is in really great shape for his age. I think he's actually still training and trying to make that Mike Tyson movie. So we'll see if that gets made.
Him being Tyson, that'd be interesting.
Oh, he's gonna try to go for another Oscar with the performance that whatever he's planning to do with Tyson. You know, like I think that's what he's gonna go for.
Off for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who? Watch. I bet you Michael B. Jordan ends up becoming Spawn, or they'll get the actor that was in the Star Wars films, the Boyega.
Yeah, I don't
John
think they're gonna
Boyega,
deal with Boyega. I don't think they deal with Boyega stuff.
I think Daisy Ridley is going to be Spawn.
Well, she could be female Spawn.
No, she's gonna be the clown. Daisy Ridley's gonna be the clown. What are you talking about?
Anybody see the pictures? Anybody see the?
Right now. It could be she Spawn.
Anybody see the pictures of Natalie Portman all buffed on Thor?
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's a turnoff.
Whatever.
Those are like those pictures make her look so bad.
They look like they were doctored a little bit. I don't know. They look weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's people. I mean,
they were like
that's how bad those pictures look.
Afar.
Those pictures look so bad that people think that they're photoshopped or they think that they're fake. You know, but a lot of people are confirming that that's real. Like Natalie Portman just basically got jacked with those arms. You know.
It was a weird pose though. The shot was weird. Yeah. It was like she was purposely doing that or something.
Yeah.
So odd.
Yeah, she was probably in a harness or something.
She was somebody on set gave her the wrong look, and she's like, "You got a problem?"
Maybe. Huh? You know, the paparazzi might have just took a weird shot there.
Or a fan might have jumped the fence and hey.
She was like, "Say something about the prequels. Say something about the prequels."
Sand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so you saw WandaVision. So what did you think, Rando? You were one of the ones that didn't like it as much.
Well, no, I did like it, but I was just disappointed with the hype that everybody was building up on it. You know.
Yeah.
Especially like this whole talks of the cameo, and there was no cameo. By the way, sorry.
Yeah, spoiler alert, guys! If you guys haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Mute. Well, not you guys. I'm talking to the guys in the chat.
Yeah. I like what they did with the show. I like what they did with the characters. I still think the first couple episodes are very slow and very rough, but once you get to like the third episode, the show stays very consistent from the third episode all the way to the last episode. I think, again, spoiler alert, the reveal of the Quicksilver, people were disappointed with that. They were hoping it was
Boner.
They were hoping it was Quicksilver from the Foxx, the X-Men films. It's like, nope.
I didn't think you would. The whole time I knew he wasn't real. I just thought he was he was
I mean, I wasn't expecting him to be from the X-Men films. I wasn't expecting that at all. I think they were just using the actor, But like so many fans were like, "Yeah."
Rob keeps throwing up Iron Fist covers, and you're never zooming in on him.
I'm zooming. I'm zooming.
Yeah,
Rob's trying to fist you.
I'm almost done.
He's trying to fist us.
Ew.
He's fisting us hard. Hard like iron.
Look at that Wrecking Crew cover. That's awesome. Those are all John Byrne Iron Fists, right? Most of them?
Yep. From issue, 8 on. And it dovetails right back into X-Men.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Got that X-Men with the saber-tooth costume on.
Nice. Oh, yeah, there you go.
First, and this one just came in, and this was the last one I needed.
Good.
Nice.
And then it goes right into, I think, X-Men 121 to 122. This is the only of 3 appearances with Wolverine in that Fang outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's done fisting us.
Yeah.
Look, he fisted so hard he made Anthony disappear.
Well, yeah, I got this lenticular cover.
Oh, nice.
No,
Yeah.
I have the 4th appearance of the Fang outfit. Look.
Hold on.
Oh, cool.
Ah. No, that's just Natalie Portman flexing. I'm going to be in the Thor movie.
And they should use that outfit at least a couple more times.
She's like, Marvel
wear
made
it
me
now.
angry, but now I'm back for more money.
Mhm.
It's like
Keep my career
Space
going.
Ball 2, the switch for more money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Mel Brooks. Can you if Mel Brooks was a character in the Marvel universe, who would he be?
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. Trying to think who he would be.
Rocket
Jarvis.
Raccoon, Howard the Duck.
This surprised me though. I actually finally got to read it.
That was
Oh, nice.
Jane
fantastic.
Foster.
Yeah. I'm excited for issue 2. I am actually excited for issue 2. And I think all the covers are like horror horror homages, I think. Almost all the B covers are horror homages. Mhm. I finally
Nice.
got to read it this week. I finally got to read it. I'm like, "Oh, it's actually good."
Yeah, the
Man,
artwork is just like Don Bluth, and the
Yeah.
story is, well, my master that you just brought me to this new house. I have a new master. Why do I have a new master? Oh my God, new master killed my old master. Why can't I remember that? Hi, my name is,
Yeah.
I don't remember anything. That was it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I
Yeah.
thought Rob was going to start singing Eminem just then.
Right.
No.
No. But it was
Will
I
the real
enjoyed it
Rob
though.
Worst please stand up?
The next one on my reading pile is this one. Issue 2. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I always
I'll-
love those
Yeah.
those cover swipes or homage covers to the
Yep.
those classic horror covers.
I'm gonna try to get the writer for an interview, Howard Wong. So, and we're not related. I know the chat joke's gonna be, oh yeah, you guys are probably related. No.
That's like asking somebody with the last name of Gonzalez.
No,
or
watch
Smith.
when we see the interview, it's just going to be
Me.
Jeff with like a fake beard. He's like, "Hello, my name is
Howard
we
Wong."
now know your alias. You're a secret comic book writer."
Oh boy.
It's
That
going to
would
be like a
that.
Ryan Paul or a Ryan George video.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
I
you
know.
have a movie for me? Yes,
it'll
sir.
be
I
an
Hey,
evil
Rob,
version
did
of
you pick this up at
Jeff
all?
Wong.
Did you
Yes.
like it?
Two Moons.
It's good.
Okay. Yeah, because
I
that's
was
on
gonna
my
pick it up.
like that was like right after my the other book, the child one, the
I ha-
children one.
I had it in my hand and I put it down, and I don't know why.
I don't know
What?
if I'm going to stay aboard on it, but
Okay.
it was a good start.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm curious. Like anything like it interests me. Like if I read the bio, it interests me a little bit. I'll pick it up to at least read it. That's what
Nice.
Earth. That's what happened with the Earth 2 stuff. With the Belzats, I already had it, the whole run. I'm like, dude, I had that whole run. I'm like, because I enjoyed the story, so I ended up picking up that whole run.
Oh, Earth 2 was great, man. Like,
Yeah.
look, if I were running DC, every Earth would have their own ongoing series.
Hmm.
You know,
Be a
I
little
would want to
weird, but
see
yeah.
what's going on in all the different Earths. You know,
Hmm.
It would be at least one way to control continuity.
Right. And what did
Man.
you think of the second episode of Superman? I know you watched it, so
Oh,
and I watched it. You haven't watched it? What'd you think? Or what'd you
Anthony,
think,
you
Miranda?
haven't seen it yet, Anthony?
No, I watched it. Remember, I told you I didn't want to watch it, yet I did, and I loved
Oh,
it.
okay.
I told you that last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I saw the
Oh.
second episode too, and it no pun intended, but I think they still stuck the landing. I was afraid that the pilot was so good and then it was
Yeah.
gonna the wheels were gonna fall off, but I'm digging it, man. I cannot believe how much I dig it, and I wasn't planning to even sit down and watch it. And
That's
I
that's
like it a
HBO Max
lot.
That's HBO Max money, man. That's not CW money.
No,
Oh no, it's CW money.
That's
It's
Greg
not
Berlanti
impressive.
CW money, but it looks really good.
Yeah,
And it's the second episode I thought was on par with the first,
good.
and I'm really surprised. And again, it's just sticking to. I think the writers have a grasp of. I think they have a vision. I think they have a plan. And I know it's early, but I was impressed, and I was cynical AF. Did
No,
not want to see it.
you're
I
not
didn't
the
want
only
to
one.
even.
We were all
I
cynical.
didn't want to. I didn't know. No, Randall was starting a fan club before it went on, but
Yeah.
I couldn't. I couldn't care less about it, and I watched it because it wasn't peer pressure, but I just saw all these people gushing over it, and I said to my wife, I said, I know I'm gonna hate this Superman and I hate this Lois just because, like I said, when they were on Supergirl, they were really milk toast and boring, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is terrible, and I couldn't get over the fact that he had crooked teeth. But it made sense. I mean, if you're the Man of Steel and you become Superman in puberty, if your teeth are crooked, there's no orthodontist that's going to straighten out those teeth of steel.
Yeah,
So,
That's right.
you're right.
honestly, that is a good idea, but I think the show is like really, really good. And I know I'm not being my adjectives are very boring right now, but I found the writing and Lois too, by the way, that woman's acting ability is head and
Anthony,
shoulders above anything. Yeah.
I think you're describing Superman perfectly, as if you were Bizarro. It's wonderful. I love it. It's great.
Good. All right.
Please explain.
Are you familiar with Bizarro?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know how Bizarro's like, me am Superman. Me very good. Me like good. Great. Bizarro.
Yeah, well, we're not trying to ruin it for
Playing. I'm just joking.
worst. Yeah. So.
I'm adding on top
enjoyed
of
the
the
first episode.
the joke
The
that
first
Anthony's making.
episode, they relocated everybody. They gave you a new location. And now we have the two children growing up, learning their powers. And you're thinking that the kid that has the PTSD is going to be the bad, dark child. And the golden boy that plays football is going to be just like his father. But if we've been reading the new issue of Infinite Frontier, I kind of had this idea to begin with, that Jonathan Kent, Golden Boy, is going to become like just an evil fuck. And the one that's supposed to be the dark kid is going to grow up to become the well-adjusted one, because most teens like that usually do become well-adjusted. But the ones that become the football player that peak when they're in high school, they're the ones that become the real dark-sided ones later on in life. And that's kind of how I think the rest of the series is going to play out.
I wonder if they're going to pull like a Smallville and here comes the red kryptonite, and like they turn bad because of the red kryptonite, like maybe. I don't know that, or what? Maybe they're throwing everyone off, right? Maybe they want you to think like one of them's going to turn bad, but neither one of them's going to turn bad. The way the second episode ended, you see Captain Luthor, and spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen it. But Captain Luthor clearly is he's like from an alternate timeline or alternate universe where you see, once again, we get to see Superman in a black suit, which is awesome. And
now
you see
you're
him
waiting
like
for
just,
the blue. Now you're waiting for the electric blue suit. That's what you're waiting on.
That could happen.
Listen, the only way we'll ever see electrical blue Superman would be in an animated series. That's the only way, and I'd be more than happy to take it. I'll take anything.
Well, what about if you get a live action blue suit?
No. And here's the sad part, right? Here's the sad part. Even Zack Snyder's the Superman black suit, even the black suit that's in Superman and Lois, it's still not good, right? It's good, but it's not good like the comics. All right. One, I don't need the cape. Get rid of the cape. If you're gonna go black suit, I'm talking all black and give me a bright silver S on the black suit. Yeah. Like honestly, what was a really good Superman black suit was Lois and Clark. When you saw Dean Cain wearing the all black suit, but instead of like a silver S, it was a blue S. It was like almost like a royal blue, kind of like sparkly, shiny S or whatever. And it popped. It worked. Like Dean Cain looked cool. I was like, oh man, he's rocking the black suit. But instead of a silver S, we have a blue S. And you know what? It would be fun to see a mullet. I want full on Superman black suit, big silver S, 2 giant guns running.
Oh,
That's
boy.
what I want.
I want to see Eradicator. Give me Eradicator, you cowards.
Oh man, and they could be making a really good Steel movie too, or even a Steel TV series.
But who would you have play Steel though? If you wanted again?
Bring Shaquille O'Neal back and get a good writer.
Let me think here. Like
Michael B. Jordan.
No. They always throw out like there's always like these like popular black actors. So like for example, Idris Elba.
I'm thinking of one. You probably the guy from the Old Spice commercial, the one from Terry Crews.
Too small. Oh, you're talking about Terry Crews?
Yeah.
Nah, I like Terry also. The only thing I like Terry in, unfortunately, for me personally, he's become typecast.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine
is I love him in comedies. I saw him in a dramatic film, like a police drama, and I thought to myself, what's Terry Crews doing in this police drama with Keanu Reeves? Like look at Terry Crews like getting all hardcore serious and then getting gunned down and shot, and I'm just like, that wasn't funny at all. I'm like, what's Terry Crews doing in this movie?
That wasn't funny at all.
But no, I mean, like, even like reading, like, browsing through some of like the Steel comics from the '90s, and I actually watched the Shaquille O'Neal Steel film for the first time, like maybe 2 years ago. Oh, we're all distracted by the kitty.
It's the cat nerd table.
But yeah, I mean, come on, Steel's such an underrated character.
Play Steel.
Who?
Yeah.
Who plays Steel?
Yes, my cat wants to play Steel.
Oh, okay.
Hey Jeff, can I play something?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart should be Steel.
Yeah. Go right ahead. Oh, hold on.
On the screen.
Yeah, there we go.
Warning. Banger alert. Oh, look at the little kitty. And he's playing with the tiny little chick. Wait, you're here for comic books, you dumb asshole! It puts the lotion in the basket. It puts the lotion in the basket.
That's so cool.
All right. He had
Jeff was saying. He said DC
has a question.
Movies, Snyder Cut, polished turd, give up already, and stick to what you're good at. Animated. You know what? I'm a firm believer in if first you do not succeed, you try again.
Polish that turd more times.
Try it a different way. Eventually, you'll hit a proper formula.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at Iron Man. If you liked
I
Iron
mean,
Man, you'll like every other movie because they're just like Iron Man. You like Doctor Strange? It's like Iron Man, but on weed.
the sad thing is, this goes to show you, like, it's not even DC's fault. It's Warner Brothers' fault, right? You have a bunch of schmucks, right? You have a bunch of dummies that are in Warner Brothers that are making decisions about things that they don't know what they're
It's
talking
old
about.
money.
They have no knowledge in. They have no knowledge in the comic book material. You have people who are knowledgeable in the comic book material, and they tell them to fuck off. You know, like you have the guys who created the CW Arrowverse, right? You have Mark Guggenheim, and you have I always forget the other guy's
Greg
name.
Berlanti.
Thank you, Greg. These guys made the Green Lantern movie, okay? And everyone was like, "Oh, Green Lantern sucks." Green Lantern sucked, right? It sucked because the studio stepped in and said, "Hey, we don't want to go with the script that you guys want. We're going to go with this script because it's cheaper, it's more manageable. We can do this, we can do that." You know, even though Warner Brothers was designing everything, they already thought that Green Lantern was going to be an automatic success. So they were already prepping for a sequel to Green Lantern before it was even released. Will they succeed in bringing back Batman Beyond? It's a possibility. I know Andrea Romano says that, it's up to the fans. But yeah, anyways, like you had Bruce Timm and you had Paul Dini who worked on the Bruce, the animated stuff, which everybody loved. These guys actually expressed interest on working on the films. And what did some idiot at Warner Brothers say? "Oh, you guys are the cartoon guys." And they're like, "Nah, we don't want the cartoon guys working on these movies."
And do you know what they did before they were cartoon guys? They didn't do cartoons. They just wound up falling into Batman. When there's a whole movie that was made about it that's on the YouTubes right now, Heart of Batman, and it even explains that Bruce Timm, Dini, they didn't work on anything animated really beforehand. They were given this opportunity and they made the most out of it, and it was the most unbelievable, great thing that still brings people to comic books and keeps them there today. Give them the opportunity. It worked for Joss Whedon. I mean, he's a kind of bad reason to.
Josh kind of like shoved out now, but yeah. But yeah, no, I agree. Like Bruce Timm and Paul Dini, these guys, you don't have anybody up in Warner Brothers that's willing to back them up. They're no one to step up and say, "Hey, I want to give these guys." Like
everybody says, it's old money sitting in those seats. It's not new money. It's not new money sitting in those seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I preach for a second on that, Scott? On that Zack Snyder comment. Now, it's not so much about the creator, because anyone can make a shitty movie and anyone can make a great movie. Okay, if you're even Spielberg has some shitty movies, and then he has the greatest movies of all time. Now, Zack Snyder had a vision. Warner Brothers, you signed a contract with him and you told him, go ahead and make these movies. The whole reason why we're getting this polished turd that the comment, the guest, the comment, the reason why they're polishing a turd is because they didn't allow a creator, a person that wrote with Chris Terrio and wanted to direct and finish a film. They didn't let him finish it. And Joss Whedon, let's take away the Joss Whedon controversy and talk about a Joss Whedon film. Can you imagine what Serenity would be like if they all of a sudden in the middle of it said, "Oh, you have a personal problem. Guess what? We're canning you and you can't finish your movie." The fact that Zack Snyder has 4 hours of content, I don't know about you guys, but Justice League in the theater was only 2 hours. It's not just that he's changing the coloration and using alternate takes. There is 4 hours of movie. And from what I've read in Variety and actual real movie sources, they said that the shoots that were done with Jared Leto and, maybe Amy Adams or whoever came back to do shoots, they only had to do like 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So there was a good 2 hours of a movie that was in the can that Zack Snyder had the vision to shoot scenes for, do storyboards for, and also get Warner Brothers official approval to make. He had a 4-movie series, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Justice League, and then yet another movie in his mind. It doesn't matter whether critics like it or whether we 4 like it or whatever.
Right.
Just let him finish it. And then if it sucks, it sucks. And then you're not doing anything to alter our perception. Just like this Pattinson movie Batman they're making.
Right.
Just wait till it's out. Don't fuck around with it. And then if the director and the producer says, yes, this is the movie that we intended to make, and it makes $1, then great. I like to think of it as the Todd Phillips Joker movie. Whether you liked it or you didn't, the movie made $1 billion. And from what I read, Todd Phillips didn't sacrifice any of his artistic vision in the making of it. And ladies and gentlemen, whether it's a comic book or a movie or a TV show, executives give us money, sign off on it, and leave us the F alone. And I think comic books should be the same way. Publishers, editors, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, let the creator create what they're creating, and when it comes out, you either like it or you don't. Right. And if you don't like it, reboot it in a couple years or get someone else to work on the next movie. Period. Right. Everything in media, everything in pop culture, we are consumers. We're not the creators.
We're the end users.
Yeah.
Right. We're consumers and users. We're not the creators. Zack Snyder, if he was allowed to continue on the movie after his daughter committed suicide, if he was allowed to step away for 3-4 months and then go back and finish, this conversation wouldn't be had. And if the movie failed, it failed on his merits or his failure. It was all on him, which is the way it should have been. But, this content, I don't think is a polished turd, and I don't mean to degrade the commenters' comments. Right. But to look at it so black and white, I think is naive on the part of everybody. Because the thing is, and even if you don't like Zack Snyder, that's fine. It doesn't matter who it is. Quentin Tarantino, Zack Snyder, Steven Spielberg, Joss Whedon even. If Joss Whedon makes another film after all this controversy's gone, Joss Whedon is the only one that should work on the film. And that's it. Look at the Avengers and then look at Justice League. There's a big difference there. That's because he inherited something that he didn't give a shit about, and it came out the way it did. So, and I'm sorry to preach, but I just feel like if someone in the middle of me creating a comic book said, "Oh, we need to change the ending or we need to change this," I'd be like, "Wow, that's not what you signed off on." And I think that, as I said to Randall in a text message a couple of weeks ago, I said Warner Brothers is the best DC villain. Forget Darkseid, forget all these people. Steppenwolf, Darkseid, Enchantress, all those, even Zod, all those villains suck. Cheetah, all those villains suck compared to Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is the best villain the DC universe has.
So, Anthony, tell me if you remember this.
Yes.
You remember this? Kevin Smith talking about John Peters when he was trying to write Superman Lives. And he just kept saying, "I want you to put in a giant mechanical spider." And he didn't know what it was about this goddamn giant mechanical spider. But then one day he finally saw it in a movie, and it was, what was it? Wild West. And
why?
it just shows you that producers, if they have money, they can tell you, almost force you to a point, hey, make sure that makes it in the script. And by the way, make this little change and this little change. You want my dollars, right? So as
Yeah.
producers, that just like you're saying, they are absolutely the enemy.
They're the actual people. They're the people that allow the dreams to be made. But the problem is the people that allow your dreams to come to fruition never had the dream in the first place. And that's where the problem is. They're not the dreamers. They're the people that are making the dreams come true, but they're not the dreamers. It wasn't their idea. And I think that's important.
That's why I like, have you heard of Legion M?
Nope.
So Legion M is sort of like this, these group of people that were like, we want the followers, we want the fans, we want to hear directly from them. They will be the investors. They created of this. Yeah, they created this basically outlet. So like they helped make the new they helped fund it and helped get Jay and Silent Bob
Reboot.
Part 2, Strike Back, whatever. They got that made. They had the cult hit movie with Nicolas Cage, Mandy. That was one of their first successful hits.
That movie was
wild.
Yeah. And so Legion M is like, they're really getting out there and they want to make quality films. Like, to me, they're almost like one day, hopefully they'll be big like Legendary Pictures. Now, Legendary Pictures, that's another production company. Like, they should be the ones in charge of, like, they worked and helped funded the Nolan Batman films. They started with Man of Steel. They had like basically a partnership with Warner Brothers where they basically upfront half the budget and then Warner Brothers upfronts the half the budget. And then that way, if the film is a huge success, both parties will get a nice chunk of change. This is a safe way for Warner Brothers to invest money in films. So that way, if the films fail, they don't lose as much money because it's the other company that invests half the money. But they also don't profit as much either, So like, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. And so like Legendary, I think, has helped with the funding to make Godzilla versus King Kong. It's such a great company, and they actually they've had comic books made as well. Like a lot of, like, mostly graphic novels, like Legendary Comics, Legendary Pictures. They're fantastic. Like the people that run that, they get it. They get it. I think they themselves are fans, and they see the possibilities of it. And I'm sure they're very big on like let the creators do their job. Just back them up, give them the funding, and let's roll forward with this and make this happen. But Warner Brothers, they just they're like other production companies, their focus is on the money, So like, even I think Ryan Reynolds, and I don't think it was Warner Brothers, but Ryan Reynolds at one point was like, they have all these experts that are crunching all these algorithms and numbers, and it actually kind of started with Tom Cruise. Back in the day, Tom Cruise consistently, the guy made like 10 films in a row, and each film made over $100 million. So producers and executives, they were like, listen, if we pay Tom Cruise $20 million and put him in this movie is guaranteed going to make $100 million at least, and that's what they're thinking. They're thinking of the money. And so Ryan Reynolds, his career was blowing up. He was getting a lot of success. And that was the same formula. That was the whole same thought process. It's like, if we pull Ryan Reynolds and we pull this actress or this actor and we put them together in a movie, and who cares what the plot is? Who cares what the characters are? Let's just pull these because this is how much money like we should make based on their performance. Like they're trying to pull a Moneyball, basically. They're trying to pull like like baseball players and statistics. Like, hey, if we pull these guys, we'll make it to the World Series. So like Hollywood is trying to pull people and put them together in hopes of like statistically, like, hey, this is how much money we're going to make. That's for them is always the end game. And it's a shame. It's a shame. It's like there's no faith. There's no. That's one of the things that Kevin Feige's done, and thankfully, Marvel has always back in the '90s. Marvel was extremely good at marketing. That's how you built your fan base. You had people that were like just became diehard Marvel fans, and so these diehard Marvel fans have been waiting a long time for Marvel to do really well in film, which they have with the MCU. So now, and then you're creating all these new fans that are jumping in. So like everyone's kind of just crowded and coming together, and they're just like Marvel no matter what. Marvel no matter what. It could be garbage. It could be horrible. If they could have the worst people in this film, we're still going to like it. We're still going to love it because it's the Marvel brand. So it's like, but the great thing though is Kevin Feige understands the characters. He understands the stories. He understands about, putting everything together and keeping everything consistent and continuity. Continuity is so important. It's so important that you've built this Marvel Cinematic Universe that people are able to follow, they're able to watch, and then they themselves get excited and they speculate, oh, Doctor Strange is going to show up on WandaVision, which it didn't happen, But
well, don't forget, COVID happened too, so they could have had those plans, but COVID happened. You know what I mean?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
With WandaVision, I'm glad at the end that they didn't wind up cramming in every cameo that they could possibly do, because that would just be a money grab and the story would not benefit as a result.
Well, it was the opposite. They did no cameos. The whole show is about focusing on those characters, which is great. But the one thing that Marvel has always done, and they did do it with the mid-credit scene where they're setting it up to where, like, what's going to happen to this character, what direction are they going to go with next, So the people they miss them right now, and part of the reason WandaVision did so well also is because there's no Marvel movies right now.
Right.
They want something MCU, so they will be more than happy to take the show. But I'll tell you right now, though, the show
a year since we've gotten the Marvel.
Oh yeah. I will tell you right now, the show that's going to reign supreme, in my opinion, is going to be the Falcon Winter Soldier. Like, that show is really going to be of the actual quality of the MCU films, but as a TV show. Like, already from some of the clips, some of the action scenes that you see in it, I wouldn't be surprised if Falcon Winter Soldier actually had a bigger budget than WandaVision. So WandaVision was more of a character piece and developing on the characters, because Wanda, in all honesty, was never a lead character in any of the Marvel films. She was always a supporting character. So this was an opportunity where she's a lead character and you can really develop more on the character. And they did a really good job on that. So Marvel's off to a good start. They're off to a good start. I know that people are disappointed because there was so much hype with what was going to happen at the end. I've seen people complain, but that's what fans do. They don't get what they want. They're gonna make some complaints. They're gonna have
just complaining they spent $100 on an Avengers 185 and Cthulhu didn't appear in the show.
Not yet. Not yet. He eventually is gonna appear.
Comic book stock market.
Yeah.
Where you just experience what it's really like to be in the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
You take a gamble. You're not always going to win.
Imagine all the people investing in Batwing 19 and 20 about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I just paid $150 for. Wait a second, he's not going to be Batman in the future state.
When Bat Dong came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to invest in Trojan condoms now because, Batman revealed his dong in a comic book. It's just funny. It's funny how people do things,
But actually, if you look through that trade, man, they darkened the hell out of it.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, DC will continue to go through changes. I'm still crossing fingers on those secret investors, the people that want to buy out DC.
not
I hope they do it. I hope they do it, and I hope they self-distribute. Because let me tell you something, Lunar, they're
Straight
not
trash,
100% bad,
Mm.
but they're garbage. They're garbage.
I warned you about
FedEx.
that. I told you. I warned
FedEx.
you.
Well, I mean, I have no choice.
Yeah.
I was with UCS, and
Yeah.
UCS was better. UCS was
Yeah.
better than Lunar. Lunar's customer service is garbage. The way they do things, the way that they push FedEx is garbage. I've seen other retailers complain about FedEx big time.
Right.
One retailer here in South Florida, he was like, he talked to somebody at FedEx, and he's like, "So, why did you guys hold on to my box for a week? Why did I have to wait a week to receive my DC shipment?" And their response was, "Oh, well, we have drivers that don't know how to handle COD packages."
Oh my god!
Yeah, I spoke to somebody at FedEx, and they said that they don't do a lot of COD packages. So the real person at fault here, in my opinion, is Lunar, because it's like, Lunar, why are you assholes going with FedEx? They can't do COD. Like, they have problems. And so what I talked to somebody at customer service, and her response was, "Okay, we'll take you off COD, and we'll, you just go ahead and mail us the money orders. Here's the address." And I'm like, why do you not have a system set up to where I can
week or two go by?
Huh?
Meanwhile, you have a week or two or a month go by where now you're going to have these problems for the next couple of weeks until that transition's over. It's like, thanks for the problem that didn't exist until you did this.
Well, first off, why can't you just do COD over at UPS? Because clearly there's no issues with COD over at UPS. None. UPS handles COD way more than FedEx does. Like all the other retailers, like, it's so sad. Like, they're like, Lunar's like, "Sorry, we can ship the books through UPS, but we don't do COD with UPS. We do COD with FedEx, but like, FedEx doesn't know how to handle COD. So why are you, why are you guys making these horrible decisions? Like, why are you this horrible company? Like, it's ridiculous. That's why I hope when, if, changes happen with DC, I hope that DC self-distributes, because I have a feeling DC will go through UPS. They will offer COD with UPS, and it'll just be smooth. It'll be smooth sailing with, the only issues with DC would be, but hopefully they would have the funding and the money to have proper employees and people running the whole, the whole ship. But you never know. You never know with these things. No company is going to be perfect. Like, the one compliment I can give Lunar is they're good at packaging and shipping out the books. I between all of the distributors, I've had the least amount of damages through them. But I'm dealing with garbage.
But that takes the longest. Yeah, it takes the longest to get your books, though.
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Some asshole, some idiot at FedEx that doesn't know how to handle COD. Do you know what they do? Instead of calling me and saying, "Hey, we have your package, or we're going to have to send it to this other shipping station because we are idiots. We can't hold your package here." What do? They change the address in their system, and they send my package back to the shipper 2 weeks in a row. They did this 2 weeks in a row. So, like, right now I have three packages. I technically have 3 packages on the way right now. Actually, no, one's already here. I'm going to be picking it up tomorrow. And then the other one is supposed to be arriving like Wednesday or Thursday, and then they're already ready to ship out the next shipment after that. But it's just it's a mess. It's a mess. Like, how hard is it to, like, listen, take my box, put it at this FedEx location. I will go there with the money order. I will pick up my books. That's it. And FedEx is like, "No, sorry, that's too difficult for us." It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Yeah. UCS was better. I didn't have any issues with UCS. The only issues I had with UCS was, like, if I got damages, I would send them a list of my damages, And then they would send me a random email later saying, hey, we need pictures. We need pictures of your, 12 books that got damaged. And then like a week goes by and I find the email. I finally send them the pictures. And then, just a pain in the ass. It's like, just give me my damages. Just give me my replacements. So that's the one good thing about Diamond. Diamond, they're like, don't even give us the pictures. They'll ask for pictures if it's like 30 books. 20, 25, 30 books are damaged. That's a huge chunk of books. We're going to need to see the damages on that. But 12 books, 13 books. I heard Diamond wants to buy DC. I heard that too, but let me tell you something. Diamond, not doing so well. They shut down their warehouse in Tennessee. Yeah, they shut down the warehouse in DC. Sorry, not DC. Shut down the warehouse in Tennessee. And little by little, Diamond is hurting because a huge chunk of the money came from DC. DC took that money away from them and was like, "We're going to give it to these guys."
What's I got a question because you guys are in the more know. You guys are more in the know. Talk about distributors, whether it's Diamond or Lunar or XYZ. What is the biggest seller that DC and Marvel has? Are we talking about 300,000 books, 30,000 books, 60,000 books? What I know Batman or the Immortal Hulk. What's the top sellers and what kind of numbers are they looking at?
Normally it's a Batman book. Normally for DC it's Batman. Yeah.
Justice League,
Avengers, Justice League, Superman, Batman, X-Men.
How does that compare? How does that compare to the Image books that are selling, or Berserker, for example, or these indie titles?
Will probably be up in number 3, 2, or 1 because that has a print run of about 200, 300,000 at least.
Right,
more than that.
And like
I heard more than that.
And like the Turtle, and like the Last Ronin from,
so
those are
there's.
Event books.
I'll answer your question, Anthony. Basically, like I said before, it deals in volume.
Right.
If you still look at the numbers, Marvel still outsells all the other publishers. Even DC outsells all the other publishers. It's because that they print out and they sell more comics in general. Right.
Right.
That's why.
And also does that include the international markets too, or is that just domestic that they pull these numbers?
Domestic, but even international, those numbers are still pretty high too. Like Marvel and DC for the longest have always been the top two. Image could be up there with number 2, but they've played the smart game. The smart game is, one, they know that the big money's in trades. They know that the big money is in graphic novels, trades. Walking Dead was proof of that. So what they do is they always limit the books that they have. So like they're not pushing to make 100,000 copies of a Spawn issue. They're not pushing to make 100,000 copies of a Walking Dead issue or anything like that. They go by the pre-order amounts. They see what the stores are ordering, and then they make slightly above that just in case like there's people that want to order more, increase the orders, reorders in case the stores sell out. But Image has always made sure that they were at a certain number, and they never really pushed or promoted variants. They never really pushed or promoted variants until, of course, like Walking Dead really blew up, and Robert Kirkman was like, when that 100th issue came out with Negan, they were like, "Oh, let's make it rain money. Let's go for it. We got this hot popular TV show, and everyone's getting Walking Dead. Let's do it." But Image usually doesn't do stuff like that. And the smart thing about Image also is that they're not owned by anybody. They're independently owned, so they can make all the decisions they want. They can make all. That's why people are like, "Oh, what if Marvel closes? What if DC closes? What's going to happen to comic books?" I jokingly say, "Well, then Image will finally be number 1," because Image isn't going anywhere. Like Image is always in the safe position of like we're going to continue to do what we're doing. We're going to maintain it. Versus these corporate companies that own DC and Marvel, they can shut them down anytime they want. That's the power that they have. But yeah, just volume. The only reason Marvel and DC outsell all the other publishers is because they make more comics in general. You can have a million copies of, like, look at Boom. If you look at Boom and you see how many. Oh yeah,
Berserker.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's comics, man. That's the monopoly, right? That's we're not given choices. These are your options. Take it, yes or no. If I want to sell DC comic books, this is what I have to deal with and put up with.
Unfortunately,
They really should make
a lot of people don't get to hear. So you telling this story, this might be the first time a person on the other side, person just being the end user picking up books, they don't know about this stuff. They hear this and go, wow, this is what my dealer has to deal with in order to get my books on a Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
It's all this, and so much more.
Yeah. I talk to them all the time, so I know.
I'll be honest, people with money, the issues that I have, stores that make a lot of money, that do really well money-wise, it's more of a minor inconvenience for them. For me, it's a major inconvenience, because I don't have a lot of money to burn. I don't make six figures. If I made six figures, all these issues I'm dealing with Lunar, I'd be like, I'd brush it off. I'm like, those assholes, and then just keep going about my business. No problem. No stress over it. But yeah, when you're a small comic book business and you're dealing with the garbage that these distributors are doing, and that's the thing too, is like sometimes I feel like these distributors, they don't want the small businesses to do well. They almost look at small businesses like, oh, you guys are an inconvenience. We're not making a lot of money from you guys. We make money from the big guys like Midtown. We make money from big guys like Emerald City. We make money from big guys like Coliseum.
Right.
But you're just this one tiny store that's, emailing us and complaining us, and you only spend like $1,000 a month on our product. Nah. We want you gone. We want you gone. We don't care.
Right.
That's the impression that I get, But the problem is that I have the opportunity. Like, if business does well, I can grow. If I grow, I could turn into the next Coliseum. I could turn into the next Emerald City. I am your possible future big chain store.
Right.
But you're preventing that from happening because of all these, all these obstacles and issues that you're giving me, and I'm losing money from it, from all the inconveniences. So it's like, it's the rich get richer, the poor get more, stay poor. It's that classic.
The poor gets the rod, pretty much.
Yeah. But back to what your question, Anthony, is like, it's just volume. It's just volume. If Marvel puts out 70 titles a month, and even if I think the goal is that Marvel wants at least 30,000 copies. If it drops below 30,000 copies, Marvel will cancel the series and then come up with a new series. That's why they're constantly canceling the books and restarting at number one, because it starts to drop below a certain number that they want. Sure. So they're like, okay, done, new number one. And a lot of times new number ones, they're selling 50,000 copies, 60,000 copies, 80,000 copies, depending on how much hype that they're putting around it, how much they're advertising, what talent they have on it, like if they have a big writer or a big artist on it. DC, I've noticed, like they've cut down on they've cut down on their volume, but what they've done, and I think it's really smart, is they're copying the playbook that Boom Studios is doing, and Boom has been promoting and saying, listen, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So that's why, like, when you had that Berserker come out and it's generating a lot of sales and copies and excitement, it's because they're focusing on the marketing, they're focusing on the quality, and then the other smart thing too is they were able to use Kickstarter as a way to advertise and promote the book. And there's a lot of people on Kickstarter. That's why I keep saying Kickstarter is the future for comics, because there's a lot of people on there that already are buying comics, they're supporting people, they're spending their money for comics on that platform. So
That's where this one came from.
Yeah, if anything, Kickstarter it's almost like social media. It's an outlet to advertise your product, to advertise your brand. So like if I were DC, if I were Marvel, you follow where the money goes. You go to Kickstarter, but you don't go to Kickstarter and say, hey, we're looking for people to buy the newest issue of Superman 76. Like go ahead and pre-order 76. It's like no. If you're a big publishing company and you're going to go to Kickstarter, you need to do something special. You need to do something different, away from what you normally publish. And these publishers, in my opinion, they are dropping the ball. You have social media. You have an outlet to communicate, to ask questions, to reach out to your audience and say, what do you want? Do you want another Batman book? No. You want a Steel book? And what artist would you want on that book? What writer would you want on that book? And then when the majority of the votes come in, they say, great, we asked you the question, you all answered it. So now we're going to put this project together and we're going to do it through Kickstarter for the fans. This is what you guys wanted and we're going to do it through here. Like I think that would be the smart thing to do for publishers, to just get people generated, like get people excited, get them like involved, like people love to be involved, like just putting out a book and saying, hey, we hope you like this versus, hey, we got something here, we asked you what you wanted, we're going to give it to you and we hope that you enjoy it. That's it. There's rumors of local comic shops left coast that have dropped carrying DC, and yeah, absolutely. They probably dropped. Well, I mean, there's a number of reasons why. Not many people again know this, but now, before they used to get everything through Diamond, you only had one shipping bill. Damn. So when DC split, now you have two shipping bills. You have two shipping bills, which that means the cost has gone up. And so the question is the cost worth it? Is it worth the hassle? Is it worth the cost of getting, there's some stores that probably don't even sell a lot of DC books. I mean, from my experience, I've seen a lot of comic book store owners that were just hardcore Marvel fans. They didn't even like promoting DC books. They didn't even like talking about DC books. They were always pushing Marvel. They would carry DC because they know that there were people that want DC, and they're not going to say no to money. Oh, you want a book? Yeah, I'll order it. But now you're dealing with Lunar. Now you're dealing with their horrible customer service. Now you're dealing with paying more in shipping. Now you're dealing with bad shipping issues with like FedEx. Some of these people, they're probably still smart enough to do UPS. But it's still a pain in the ass because now you have to mail out a physical money order to Indiana, which is where Lunar's located at. To be safe, I pay basically $10 and ship it out through USPS. I ship it out priority mail so that, one, it's insured, and two, they're going to get it within 2 business days. So that way I don't hear Lunar complaining like, hey, we never received your money order. I guess it got lost in the USPS mail or whatever, and it's like, I'd rather just do priority because then I have tracking and it's insured and it's like less of a hassle. But it's still a hassle because I'm paying an extra $10 a week now to send them a money order versus not having to pay anything for a COD. So right. It's like, it's a nightmare, man. It's a nightmare. It's like we live in a world where the technology, everything's supposed to be easier. These people should be making things easier, and they're not. They're making it easy for them.
PayPal, man. You can PayPal them and be easier that way.
God, if I could PayPal them, if I could just send them a credit card and be like, here, charge it. Yeah. I have the money you want. Just take the money. Don't make me fucking like walk 500 miles and mail you out a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone wants to PayPal me, I can send them my comics like in 2 days, whatever.
Yeah,
sweet.
All right, guys, I'm gonna call it. Okay, what you got?
No, I was just gonna say something because I like refuting. I'm getting a great kick out of debating Randall very quickly about points like I did
That's cool.
last week. And we had a great discussion. I don't mean to sound like an old man, even though I am. I'm 50 years old. I grew up reading comics on the spinner.
Yeah.
We didn't have social media. We didn't have Kickstarter. We didn't have
Didn't
anything.
have graphic novels.
We didn't have anything that was telling you what you should be reading.
Right.
The comic book industry, the entertainment industry, the music industry, the TV, the film industry, like I said about the Snyder Cut when I was talking about, and again, it has nothing to do whether you're a fan of Zack Snyder or not. It has to do with creative vision.
Yeah.
Quality creative output draws people to it. Sometimes because it's good, not because it's marketable, not because it's trend driven or social media driven or anything else. Like you were talking about with a lot of Image comics. Image comics. I started reading Saga when it first came out.
Oh yeah.
No one told me what it was about. I had no preconception, no hype, no nothing. But I picked up an issue. But I picked up an issue in a store, and I was like, there's something special about this. Yeah. When people discovered Neil Gaiman's Sandman from Vertigo, and I know it's a different world. I'm aware of that. I'm not naive to technology and social media. Too much information, in my opinion, with Kickstarter and Indiegogo and crowdfunding and Berserker. It's all noise. And I just feel like it would be great for us to cut through the noise and pick up a book because we like the cover, or we like the team behind it, or we like the storyline or the concept without people telling us what we're supposed to like. Just for once.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's a visual medium, and it's a form of literature. And it's sad to me that people have to get driven to it. It's something that people should be drawn to and should find.
I agree.
And again, I'm not refuting everything you said about Kickstarter, crowdfunding, all that. The only reason Berserker, which, by the way, Berserker is fantastic because it's putting more eyes into a comic book store, an LCS. That's great. But the only reason it's sold is because Keanu Reeves' name is on it. The only reason those back issues of Avengers and people are buying every copy of Tom King's Vision on eBay is because they think it has something to do with WandaVision, which it has nothing to do with WandaVision other than the fact that he's wearing a tie and a sweater.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, there was a sparky appearance. That was it.
Yes, that's true. I'm sorry.
That was literally
But at the same time,
Yeah.
everything's a gimmick. Everything's and I don't know that Jeff, Marvel and DC are starting to be a little dead to me too. Like Jeff Schultz just said, if it was 9:00 again instead of 10:30, I would ask everybody, what do you think we should be reading from DC? Because I pick up one or two titles and I'm kind of excited, but the thing is there is a joy for people that actually are comic enthusiasts, like Ace just said. There's something about discovering something that you've never seen before. Dave Stevens' artwork that Rob said he discovered a year ago or whatever. Things like that. All of a sudden,
I'm about to bet on Dave Stevens right now.
Right, like I missed something, but look at what I discovered. And again, I know that's not so commerce driven, but in the long run, which which Randall, you were talking about Image. Image is in it for the long game.
Oh.
Because if you hadn't read what God Country and Redneck, you wouldn't have Donny Cates writing Thor and Venom and stuff. You know,
absolutely, I agree.
It's that magic.
But I do want to add on to what you were saying. What I want to add on to is basically, like, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but also I think there's a good chunk of people that do want to be told what to check out and what to read, and the biggest reason why, and this is my theory, this is my guess, comics have, in my opinion, and Mark Millar even agrees too, they're overpriced. It's all about, like, people are limited to certain kind of funds, they're limited to certain kind of money, and they want to know. A lot of people like to have this feeling of, I'm getting something good. You know, I don't want to waste my money on a comic book.
I just want this in my collection so badly.
Yeah. What is he doing to that seal?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's trying to eat him.
Hey,
eat him.
The seal should just hurry up.
Because remember, Alf likes to eat cats, so maybe he thinks that the seal is a type of cat, maybe. But
he's showing his willy.
But like, no, I mean, like, I think when people have money, right? When they have money, they have the extra funds, and they're shopping. You're window shopping. You see a comic book, and you're like, "Oh, this looks interesting." If you have the money, you're willing to try it out. You're willing to buy it. You're willing to go through it. When you are tight with your money, when you're like, "Listen, I'm going to go into a comic book store. There's over 100 new titles that came out this month, and they're all $4 or $5 a piece."
Spawn $2.99.
Yeah.
Nice. But like, people are going to look and they're going to say, I only have $20 or I only have $30. What am I going to get? You know, and they're going to get the things that they like. You know, if they like Superman, if they like Green Lantern, if they like Wolverine, if they like Spider-Man, they're going to pick those up because those are the characters they like. You know, and then before they know it, like, hey, I like this character, I like this character, I like this character. This book, I don't know about this book. It looks interesting, but I'm on a budget. And the only reason people are on a budget is because comic books have started to reach a point where now the price is too much. They are charging way too much. They need to be dropping down the prices. Paper is not expensive. It really isn't. I have friends who, like, a guy made his own graphic novel, and he handed me the graphic novel. He's like, take a look at it. I looked through it, and I was like, this looks great. He's like, yeah, it looks just like any other graphic novel, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, now guess how much it cost me to make it? You know? And I was like, I don't know, $5? He's like, no, like $3.25. You know? And it's like, for a graphic novel, and the graphic novel would carry 4 to 6 issues. You know, so imagine how much a single comic is compared to a graphic novel. And obviously the printers and the way that they're set up, the more you order, the better price you're going to get, which is probably why Marvel is like, listen, we have to sell this many copies, you know, because if we sell under those copies, percentage wise, the gap shortens, the profit gap, you know, so that's why they probably do that. They do that with single issues. This is the number we have to hit. If it falls below that number, our profit margins shrink. We're in business to make money, you know, not lose money, you know. So that's why, you know, like, it's like comic books just, and I just feel like if they made the comic books cheaper, you would get more people to buy comics, you know. And this is proof, because when DC did the Drawing the Line at $2.99, DC sales actually jumped. They jumped. Marvel sales dropped. Marvel had at the moment that DC did the $2.99, Marvel had just bumped up several of their books from $2.99 to $3.99. They saw the orders drop tremendously on those books when they switched to $3.99. So what did they do to compete with DC? They dropped it back down to $2.99 to get those numbers back up.
The line at $2.99.
Yeah.
Spawn still
I know
at
that
$2.99.
Jeff wants to wrap up there, so I guess to sum up what you're saying is, what? Try new books, or else You're a
Yeah.
scumbag. Also, try Scumbag. It's really good. Try
Yeah.
some new indie titles. Indie titles are a little different because it's not like producers saying you got to do this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Try something like that.
Yeah.
Try something independent. It's awesome. Also,
Mhm.
subscribe to Anthony Sika and try some of his books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what you guys got going on before we wrap up everything? What you got going on, Anthony?
$2.99. Always. Remember, $2.99.
I love it.
If Todd McFarlane can sell a book for 20 years for $2.99, I can sell mine for a year and a half for $2.99.
Yeah.
I am finishing up, oh my God, number 6. I have 2 more pages to ink, and then I'm doing a backup story. It's probably going to be Misty America, or I might do Mars and Venus. I don't know. And that's it. And it will be out in May. And I plan on doing some crowdfunding soon also, because even making black and white comic books, when you're making over 500 of them, is expensive, and mailing them's expensive. And I'm happy to say my first printing of issue 5 is almost completely depleted between comic shows and stores and mailing them to YouTube channels like your own. I've gone through almost my whole first printing. So I may have to get a second printing of issue number 5 before I print issue number 6. And I plan on having some cool incentives on my crowdfunding. And I may have like even original artwork and stuff for sale. So that's all I'm really doing. And I'm in the middle of Daytona Bike Week. I'm working 16 days straight, and I'm on my 8th day. So I'm on coffee and donuts, pretty much.
Thank God for coffee.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. What you got going on, Rob?
Well, just as Ace says, try some stuff from Vault. I need to send this to Ace. I just rebagged and boarded it for you, nice and double boarded. Also, one of the things she said about Vault, I just read this new series. It's called Shadow Service. Volume 1 should be coming out soon. The last issue should be out, I think, next week or the week after.
I got a bunch of Vault stuff too. I got a bunch of Vault stuff too.
Yeah, Vault has some great stuff. Try out some of theirs. We're going to be having a show on Wednesday. Don't know what it's going to be about, but we're going to have Ace, myself. It's going to be Lady Fantastic, Comics on the Mind, and Miracle Man. Hopefully, sober. Check out last episode. It was a fun one.
Mm-hmm. All right, what you got going on, Randall?
Same old. I'm boycotting Amazon just for this 1 week, because I'm supporting people who are trying to go unionized.
Oh, okay.
So I really want to watch Coming to America, the sequel, but I'm going to have to wait a whole week before I watch it.
Pirate Bay!
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to continue to do some more organizing. The more and faster I get organized, the more I can go through the books. I go through the books and I can figure out what books I'm going to sell. And then hopefully, maybe within a month, I'll have some books here that I can try and sell, here on the Nerd Table.
Extreme Nerd Table auction eventually. Whenever Randall gets organized.
Yeah. Oh, it's getting there, man.
Yeah.
I got 2 4-foot tables.
Okay.
I'm using one right here, and then I have the other one for my room, and that's where in my bedroom. That's where I'm gonna just start pulling boxes, and I'm gonna be going through the books. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm selling that. I'm keeping that. I'm selling that. I'm keeping that.
All right. Alrighty. Then let's let them know what I got going on. Well, if the books come on time, we're gonna have Extreme Nerd. Cantonese Comic Wednesdays, the Nerdy Collector Show, and then we're gonna have the Extreme Nerd Table with Rob, with Anthony, with Randall, and you never know who else is gonna show up. So enjoy
Evil
your
Jeff
week.
Wong. Evil Jeff Wong might show up.
Yeah. Maybe. Never know.
Is evil just Wong, just you with sunglasses? Because if so,
Probably.
No, the fake beard.
The fake beard. The low paint beard.
He's gonna have a fake beard.
and a little
Can we
mustache.
get some? Can you get a woman on the? Can you get a woman on the panel?
I've been
for
trying
once?
to. I've been trying to get the.
I
Yeah.
will
It's like a
ask
sausage
for
fest here.
maybe even Lady Fantastic Race.
We might even see transgender Jeff Wong. You know, like we might see female Jeff Wong. You know, like there you go. Well, you know, Jeff Wong.
Yeah.
Jeff Wong. He's like, just for this week, I'm a female. I identify as female.
Uh-huh.
So boom, there's your female for the show.
We said Wong, not Wang. So
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll check you guys later and have a great week. We'll see you next week.
All right.
bye bye.